Julie at Freedom Creek Prairie, sharing some drone videos of our CRP implementations. The one we're looking at here today is in Adams County, Iowa. It is a CP42 pollinator habitat that was planted in March of 2016. So we're looking at this one in the second growing season. Rick and I both feel it's so important to go back and look and scout these fields that we've planted to see how they're doing, but we want to look at fields and talk about the different site conditions, the implement presentations that we used, as well as the time of year, whether it was dormant seeding that was done in the fall, or a frost seeding over the winter, or a spring seeding. We like to look at these and see, what's the difference between doing it one way and doing it another way, and we learn from that, and it's how we can improve the services that we're offering to customers. We're planting a whole different crop. This isn't corn, beans, or hay. It's a whole different cat when you're talking about native seed. So that's how we learn, and we'd like to help show everyone else what it is we're doing and what we see when we look at these, and what you should expect to see when you look at your CRP. Like we said with this one, this is a farm that was about 120 acres, and it's actually a great one to look at as far as two different implementations here. On the west side, which is the side that the drone is over right now, the west side was bean stubble, and there was no tillage done here. It was seeded in March in the spring with a Truax native seed drill that had press wheels behind it. And you can see it looks really well. The forbs are very visible out there. Now you're seeing here a break where you can see there's a drive that comes down through here, and we're crossing over into the east side of the farm. And there's an obvious difference here. And when you look at that, you can see the grasses are far more dominant here. They're more mature here, and taller, and have really taken off. Well, this east side of the farm here was corn stalks, and the landowner lightly disked those. And when Rick seeded this side, he wanted to use the Vicon broadcast seeder, followed by a Brilliant roller behind it. So we had two different field conditions as well as implement presentations here, and it's obvious in looking at this field now that those grasses really favored having that soil worked, and that roller, the cultipacker behind pressing that seed to the soil. It just seemed to be what those grasses were looking for on that side. And on the east side over here, still it looks great, and the grasses are there. They're just not as mature as these on the east side. And that's just one of those things that we learn and see as we go along, and want to share that with you. One other note here is that this particular landowner did maintenance mowed these fields twice in the first growing season, and this being the second growing season, he hasn't mowed that. Rick went and looked at it a couple of different times, well, probably more than that even in that first year, and didn't really feel like there was any need to mow it, that it would have been fine without that. But it made him feel better to do that. He's a very conscientious farmer, and that's how he wanted to do it, and he did, and it's worked out just great. But we have seen many of the crop ground going into CRP situations where if your weed control in your crop fields was good, there was just no need for any maintenance mowing at all in those first and second establishment periods. So wanted to share that with you, and thanks for watching.